Magandang umaga po. On behalf of the House Prosecution Panel, we welcome and thank our friends from the media for joining us today. This morning, the House Prosecution Panel is making an important announcement regarding the strengthening of its legal and communications teams in connection with the impeachment proceedings against Vice President Sara Duterte. It is therefore our privilege to formally introduce the newest members of the private prosecution panel, as well as the panel's additional spokesperson and impeachment advisor. So ito po yung mga miyembro ng the second batch of private prosecutors. The first to be introduced, although he's not here because of a prior commitment, is Attorney Theodore Te. Kilala niyo na po siya. Attorney Te is a former Chief Public Information Officer and spokesperson of the Supreme Court, the interim chairperson of the Free Legal Assistance Group, or FLAG, and a full-time faculty member of the UP College of Law. He has argued major constitutional and human rights cases before the Court of Appeals and the Supreme Court, served as a bar examiner 3 times, and led legal aid and civil liberties work involving freedom of expression, press freedom, due process, and the protection of civil and political rights. So that's Attorney Theodore Te. Next, we are pleased to introduce Attorney Reynaldo Robles, founding and managing partner of Chan Robles and Associates. Attorney Robles is a veteran lawyer with experience in criminal and civil litigation, corporate law, election law, labor, taxation, and public-private partnership work. He placed 10th in the 1990 bar examinations, graduated cum laude, and class valedictorian from FEU Law, and has extensive legislative experience as a former Senate Chief Legislative Consultant who helped craft committee reports and final versions of more than 50 bills. Yan po si Attorney Reynaldo Robles. Please stand to be recognized. Salamat po, Attorney Robles. Also joining the private prosecution panel is Attorney Arnold Labay, CPA, a senior partner of Chan Robles and Associates. Attorney Labay brings the combined discipline of law and accounting, having passed both the CPA board examination and the bar, and having spent decades in litigation practice. He previously served as managing partner and litigation lawyer of Labay, Madamba, Picho law offices, taught remedial law review, evidence, and civil law, and authored a book on persons and family relations. Let's welcome Attorney Arnold H. Labay. We also welcome, on my left, Attorney May Divina Gracia, Managing Partner of Co. Nazario Velasco Catera and Divina Gracia Law Offices. Attorney Divina Gracia has handled commercial, civil, and criminal litigation, arbitration, product liability, corporate rehabilitation, intercorporate disputes, labor, and family law. She previously practiced with Accra Law's Litigation and Dispute Resolution Department, teaches law at Ateneo de Manila University, Ateneo de Naga University, and the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, and represented the Philippines in major moot court competitions, including the JESOP International Moot Court and the Asia Cup in Tokyo. Attorney May Divina Gracia, welcome. Finally, we are pleased to announce that former Surigao del Norte Representative Robert A. Barbers joins the House Prosecution Panel as an additional spokesperson and impeachment advisor. Wala po siya ngayon, also because of previous or a prior commitment. As you know, former Representative Barbers served as governor of Surigao del Norte, a 6-term member of the House of Representatives, and chair of key congressional committees, including the Committee on Dangerous Drugs and the historic Quad Committee. He brings to the team decades of legislative experience, a strong record in public accountability work, and a clear, direct communication style that will help explain the impeachment process and its significance to the Filipino people. So, ladies and gentlemen, former Surigao del Norte Representative Robert A. Barbers as additional spokesperson and impeachment advisor. Please join me in welcoming our distinguished legal professionals and public servant to the House Prosecution Panel. With us also today is of course, Attorney Benjamin J. Tolosa Jr., the legal spokesperson of the Prosecution Panel. Salamat po. on our manifestation with proposal on certain matters, on certain pre-trial matters, kasama po yung BIR box, ay parang sinasabi nila na they are not averse to the opening of the BIR box. Kaya lang ang sinasabi nila, ang kanilang hiling ay dapat daw sa executive session at wag na munang ipamigay o ipakita yung mga laman na yan. We are responding to that. At again, para lang hindi tayo pumasok sa diskusyon tungkol sa merits. Bakit kailangan pa ng executive session? Pwede naman yan gawin na. I-assign lang isang team, for example, para buksan at para ipamarka yung mga laman niya. Thank you.
Doon po sa kaso ni President Erab at saka ni former Chief Justice Corona, no, that the defense attempted to raise issues to have the case dismissed at yun po ay binasura ng impeachment court. So maliwanag po yung President in that regard.
And I guess it's also premature for them to be raising lack of evidence without first allowing the prosecution to present its evidence.
Sakali pong tatanggapin ng Senado ang nasabing argumento tungkol sa freedom of speech, yung pagbabanta ni Vice President Sara, ano ang maaring maging epekto nito sa pananagutan ng mga halal na opisyal? Thank you po.
Malaki siyempre ang epekto na yan kung hindi papayagan yung pagpresenta ng evidence doon sa contracting an assassin and then making grave threats. That's Article 4 of the Articles of Impeachment. Paano yan? Anyone can just be blurting out all of those threatening words and remarks from a high official at that. And it's a high official, happens to be the second highest official of the land, making those threatening statements against the highest official. So ano na po mangyayari? Anybody can just do that. And then paano po yan? Ay karapatan din ng prosecution na ilatag yung mga ebidensya, i-prove yung punto na yan. Trial po tayo. So kailangan payagan ang pagpresenta ng mga evidence para ilatag yung facts for the consideration of the impeachment court at para malaman, makita, marinig ng sambayanang Pilipino.
Para sa akin, dapat haharap muna si Vice Presidente. At siya, dapat manggaling mismo sa bibig niya sa harapan ng court kung ano yung nasa isip niya nung sinabi niya yung mga salitang yon. At dapat rin na bigyan kami ng karapatan na i-cross-examine siya dun sa sinasabi nga niyang claims. Kung ano man yon, freedom of speech o kung meron pa siyang ibang paliwanag.
Sa palagay po ninyo, yung 7 to 8 months na yun, mahaba po ba yun or sakto lang po ba yun? What are your thoughts po on the estimated timeline?
First of all, talagang estimate lang po yan. Hindi po tayo makakasiguro gaano talaga to tatagal. 7 months ba or less than 7 months? Kasi even if linatag na natin yung ilan ang mga witnesses on both sides at i-reflect nga yan po sa pretrial order na inaasahan na ipapalabas ngayon ng ng impeachment court, ay depende po talaga yan sa developments ng kaso. Kasi hindi naman po ibig sabihin na lahat ng mga linista by both prosecution and defense ay talagang ipipresenta. Depende talaga yan sa mga magiging takbo at magiging itsura ng trial. Baka merong ilang mga facts na hindi na kailangan talaga na meron ipresenta na witness o may ipresenta na documents. At ganoon din yung tungkol dun sa 4 articles. Kasi yung 7 months na yan, that's on the premise na lahat ng mga balak ng prosecution na ipipresent ay ipipresent talaga. At lahat na articles of impeachment, yung 4 na yan, ay ipoprove o i-develop ng prosecution. Pwede rin po kasi na kapag sa tingin, sa assessment, evaluation ng prosecution, pagkatapos na ipresenta or one or two articles or even 3 articles, ay pwede nang i-dispense yung pag-prove ng other articles, ng 1 or 2 articles, para mas madali. Kung sa tingin namin ay malakas na para makasecure ng conviction. And if that happens, then necessarily, shorten yung trial period. So kung kagustuhan ng prosecution panel na ipresenta kung sinong witness, including that sheriff, then wala po magagawa ang defense dyan. Katulad din sa defense, kung sino yung gusto nila na ipresenta, basta ba nasa listahan as disclosed in the pretrial brief and indicated in the pretrial order, then wala rin po magagawa ang the other side o ay yung prosecution. So the manner of presenting evidence, including who to present, really rests in the party presenting.
Meron pong compulsory processes ang impeachment court. Pwede pong isubpoena ang mga recalcitrant witnesses.
But we did not list VP Sara as our witness, no? I'm not sure kung sa defense. And I understand hindi po makocompel ng Senate Impeachment Court po na humarap or padaluhin si VP Sara. Is it the prosecution stand na sana humarap po ang bise sa impeachment trial?
That's entirely the call of her defense panel. But we are ready to cross-examine her if she comes out and testifies. Actually, maski noong pang Committee on Justice Proceedings, if you recall, every time nagkaka-hearing, ini-invite ng committee si Vice President. At ito na rin ang pagkakataon niya na ipaliwanag yung kanyang mga depensa at yung mga sinasabi nga niya na sa media pa lang so far.
And sa clarification na lang din po dun sa private prosecutors, kumpleto na po ba sa ngayon? This is the last batch na po or meron pa po kayong i-announce na bago? Just for clarification.
Alam ko po meron pang third batch of private prosecutors na mag-enter ng appearance. Thank
Mga
you.
ilan po lahat ng private prosecutors? Kasi we're 1 week away from the trial. So, ilan po yung mga magjo-join? Or kabuuan? Ilan po yung kabuuan ng private prosecutors?
I don't have the numbers now, but certainly we are going to decide on that in time for the trial. Kasi technically and strictly, a private prosecutor can actually enter appearance anytime, even already in the course of trial. Hindi naman kailangan na lahat ng mga pangalan, lahat ng mga magiging private prosecutors ay mag-enter ng appearance na before July 6, which is the first day of trial. So while trial is ongoing, wala pong prohibition in the rules, in the law, na hindi na pwedeng dagdagan yung listahan ng private prosecutors. Thank you.
Po sa first batch ng private prosecutors, natanong din po ito. Pero this time po, kayo naman po yung tatanungin namin. Handa po ba kayo na halongkatin ng mga netizens or ng critics yung inyo po mga background? Kasi batay po sa information, si Attorney May D. Vinagracia po, nagsilbi po kayong abogado ni dating DPWH Undersecretary Catalina Cabral and si Attorney Reynaldo Robles po, dating legal counsel ni former Senator Antonio Trillanes. Marami pong salamat.
Well, we expect that po it's part of the territory. In fact, we expect people to raise issues if only to divert attention from this important constitutional process. When I represented former Yusek Cabral, I was defending her due process rights. And accountability po entails due process, evidence, fairness, and respect for the law, which is also material in this process. And whether so again, I don't see any inconsistency. My defense of the due process rights of one client is not inconsistent with my helping in the pursuit of public accountability.
At the end of the day, ang issue lang is, meron ba kaming conflict of interest? So, sa tingin naman po namin, in my case, I represented former Senator Trillanes, no? Siya naman po consistent sa habol sa accountability ng ating mga public officers, no? So itong ginagawa ko po, bagamat sabi ko nga kanina, normally we would just be rather in the background, no? Pero siguro itong panahon na to, kailangan na rin po nating tumindig para sa kinabukasan ng ating mga anak at mga siguro future generation, no? Kaya po ako naglakas ng loob na mag-volunteer para tumulong, no?
Actually, na-introduce na po siya dati as legal spokesperson, and now we're introducing him also as a private prosecutor. Attorney Tolosa is the founding and managing partner and head of the litigation and dispute resolution practice of the Tolosa Lim and Chua law firm, where he leads a team of over 25 lawyers handling complex and high-stakes disputes. He held in-house legal positions as legal counsel of a leading Fortune Global 500 multinational corporation's Philippine affiliate and as general counsel of a regional conglomerate engaged in the retail and distribution of premium global brands. Siya po ay former senior associate of Accra Law, representing major corporations, senior executives, and public officials in complex and high-value disputes. Ang mga recognition po kasama po yung the prestigious Asia Law Profiles and Legal 500 Asia Pacific have consistently recognized Attorney Tolosa as a recommended lawyer and key partner for litigation and dispute resolution. Under Attorney Tolosa's leadership, the firm's litigation and dispute resolution practice has earned recognition from Legal 500 Asia Pacific, Asia Law Profiles, and Benchmark Litigation, and has received Asian Legal Business Boutique Litigation Firm of the Year awards on multiple occasions. Ang kanyang educational background po, he obtained Bachelor of Laws, University of Santo Tomas, ranked among the top 10 of a graduating class of 145. Bachelor of Arts, major in Legal Management, University of Santo Tomas, and recipient of the Outstanding Thomasian Award from the University of Santo Tomas Law Alumni Foundation, Inc. So sa puntong ito po siguro pwede nating pakinggan si Attorney Tolosa and magbibigay din po siya ng certain updates. Thank you.
Ano pong purpose and reason bakit tayo nagdadagdag ng mga private prosecutor para lang po mabigyang linaw ang publiko na hindi ibig sabihin ito ay nahihirapan ang prosecution team?
Hindi po talaga ibig sabihin ito na nahihirapan ng prosecution team. Kaya lang is the judgment, is the call of the prosecution team that mas maganda kung meron talagang tumutulong at meron talagang participation din ang private prosecutors because that is actually allowed for a more efficient and orderly and fair presentation of the case.
Gusto ko lamang pong idagdag no, na hindi naman po unusual o hindi pangkaraniwan yung request ng participation ng private prosecutors. Sa ordinaryong korte po, ginagawa po ito. May mga kaso, lalo na yung complex litigation, no, that private prosecutors are allowed by public prosecutors to appear, no, and to participate actively in the prosecution of cases. No. In the impeachment case, I think we have listed 60, we asked for 62 trial dates, supposedly for 62 witnesses, no? So imagine niyo po yung preparasyon na kailangan to prepare 62 witnesses, no? So even if there are 15 or 20 or even 25 private prosecutors, madami pa rin pong trabaho na kailangan gawin kasi kailangan mag-background checks, kailangan mag-i-review lahat ng dokumento, kailangan i-prepare yung witnesses or yung possible questions, no? I-research yung lahat ng pwedeng i-research, no? So hindi po madami yung 15 or 20. Kagaya nga po ng nasabi nyo, in other impeachment cases, lampas pa ng 50 yung private prosecutors.
Just to add, siguro ito hindi masyadong kabisado ng mga hindi abogado. Ang prosecution kasi para kang nagpapatayo ng bahay. Ang prosecution ang may burden to establish the basis for the charges. Ang defense naman, ang tungkulin nila ay i-demolish yung bahay. So kung yung analogy na yun ang gagamitin natin sa pagpapatayo ng bahay, maraming plano yan, maraming gagawin. May kailangan mo pa ng kontraktor, kailangan mo ng mga karpentero, mga master carpenter at iba pa. Ang pag-demolish ng bahay, eh madali lang yun. Ilan lang ang taong kailangan mo is wrecking crew at tapos na. So sa mga magsasabi na hindi handa ang prosecution kaya napakarami ang kinukuha nila mga abogado, hindi po totoo yun. Talagang nagkakaiba lang ang trabaho ng prosecution sa trabaho ng defense.